Hey there, CJ Math students, and welcome to Notes 3.11 Part 3. This will be a super quick one. Basically, we've covered we've done the part, we've done the whole, and now we're going to do problems where we don't have the percent, right? So it says 95 is, again, that is attached to 95, that makes it a part, is what percent, we don't know, of 132. So basically, we don't know what our percent is. So basically, we'll say 95 over 132 equals x, the percent that we don't know, over 100, right? 100 always stays in that bottom denominator. So here we do our cross multiplication. We get 132x equals 9500. We divide both sides by 132. And we get our answer of x is equal to 71.96. But if we round that, that's x is equal to about 72. So 72%, right? And not 0.72. So let's think about that. Just pretend you were taking a test, right? And you got 95 correct out of 132 questions, right? So your total was 132, right? This means that, okay, I got a 72% on that test. So 95 is, basically what this means is 95 is 72% of 132, right? And if you really think about it deeply, half of 132 is 66. 95 is greater than 66, meaning that 95 should be bigger than 50%. And so 72% kind of makes sense, right? Let's do number 11 before I have you do number 10. It says what percent of 135 is 31? All right, so obviously 135, the of word is the whole, is 31, that's the part. And again, we don't notice the percent, right? So again, notice in all these problems, notice in 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, there's no percent signs. If there's no percent sign, you don't know your percent, and that's what you need to solve for. So I've got my part, which is 31, over my whole, which is 135. Basically, this is saying if I shot 135 free throws and I made 31, what would my percent be, right? So you could even go into the bottom here and be like, there's no way it's going to be 435.5%. It's not going to be 0.23 either, because that's just way too small. That means I didn't even make one, right? And it's probably going to be between these two. 4.4 would be pretty small, so I'm going to guess C. Let's see if my guess turns out correct. So it's x over 100. And let's cross multiply. So we're doing 135x equals 3100. We're going to divide by 135. And I'm left with x is equal to 22.96 about, right? And then that rounds to about 23, so 23%, okay? So C is our answer. So now we've done all the different types where I give you a part and a percent, or a whole and a percent, or a part and a whole but not a percent. We've done all those different variations using the is over of equals percent over 100, or part over whole equals percent over 100. You should be able to do these problems very simply. Just always label what each number is representing, and then of the three, you won't have one of them, and then you just cross multiply to solve for x, right? You can't switch it up your order. It always stays the same as on the front, where it's always is over of equals percent over 100. Okay? So that's the end of part 3. You're responsible for finishing the rest of these problems. You may use a calculator.